You ready to go, Luce?
Yep, all good. Guys, we'll just use the chat section again. So let me know if you've got a question for Steve and we'll get going. Who wants to kick us off? Andrew McGlashan, over to you.
Thanks, Lucy. Hi, Steve. How significant a win is that, given you've done it by 270 runs without Pat and Josh?
Yeah, it was nice to get the job done. I think the guys that came in, Michael Nesser and Jai, did terrific jobs. They bowled exceptionally well, I think, as a group, led by Mitchell Starc, who I think that's the best I've seen him bowl in a while. He summed up the conditions really well. He realised that it wasn't swinging, and he was just able to hit a really nice line and length, and did it all game. I thought he bowled exceptionally well and led the attack really well. And I'm really pleased for him and the rest of the bowling group as well.
And just quickly, can I just take you back to that first morning and what was going through your head with all the drama around Pat, and how much notice did you actually have that you would be captain for this game?
Well, not a lot of notice. I think I found out around must have been 10 or 11 a.m. I don't even know. But that morning, I had no idea overnight what was going on. I only found out first thing in the morning when I had 2 missed calls from Pat and a message from JL saying, "Are you awake?" And I thought, geez, something's going on here. I don't know what it is, but something's going on. And then obviously found out the news that unfortunately Pat was going to be out for this game and that I was going to take charge. So, it's been an enjoyable week. I've enjoyed, leading this team in Pat's absence and carrying on from what we started last week at the Gabba. So great to be 2-0 up. Hopefully we can keep this momentum going into what should be an amazing Boxing Day Test match.
Thanks, Steve.
Ben Horn.
Hey, Steve. Congratulations. You mentioned how much you enjoyed the week. I guess you didn't have any time to have any anxiety about moving back into the captaincy again. But how did you find being back in the saddle again? And will it be hard to go back to not being captain again next week?
No, like I said, I enjoyed it. Sort of brought back some old memories in a way, I guess. I had fun out there. But it's Paddy's team, and I'm the vice captain, and I'll help Patrick in any way that I can. That's my job as vice captain. And I'll continue to hopefully lead with the bat and play some really good cricket and help Pat in any way that he can, any way that I can.
Louis Cameron.
Hey, Steve, you touched on Mitch Starc there. I just want to ask, I guess, just, coming into the summer, there was a, suggestion that maybe Jai was hot on his heels. Was there ever any doubt, I guess, from you that he was the man for that spot?
No, not really. No, I think he's a class bowler. He has been for a long time. And you look at his strike rate, I think he's up there with some of the best that, played cricket or Test cricket around the world. So I just really liked the way he went about his business this week. He took complete control. He was bowling such beautiful line and lengths and taking the ball across the right-hander and bowling really nicely to the lefties as well. But I think he did a terrific job and created chances throughout the whole match and, just continued his pink ball form. He's been unbelievable in pink ball cricket and just continued that this week.
And just on, Joss Butler and how he went out, I guess kind of leading into that, were you getting a touch nervous? And just can you, I guess, talk us through what that dismissal was like, and did it feel a bit bizarre?
I wasn't getting nervous just yet. I still thought, we've got him 8 down, Broadies at the other end. We always felt, I even felt we could have got Joss out the way we were going about it. I thought he was going to try and, it looked like he was going, earlier on in the day, he was sort of just content staying up one end, and then he was trying to get up the other end and do the old, 4 balls at one end, get up the other end and leave broad he won. So when it got to that point, I thought there was still enough in the wicket. And if he was going to, try and push at the ball or something, we might have got a nick or something like that. So I was still pretty confident. There was still a lot of time left in the game. But, yeah, it was bizarre, I guess, the way that wicket happened with him stepping back on the stumps. He was obviously trying to get off strike that ball, as we saw. So, things turned out well. But I thought he played really well. Not the traditional sort of Joss that we've been, we've seen in the past. He really played really nicely, left really well. His defence was really good and gave them a bit of a sniff there for a while.
Lockie McCurdy.
Thanks, Lucy. Congrats, Steve, on the win. Obviously, great to see Jai Richardson come back and have such a good impact. I mean, what is it like to see a guy of his character, almost 2 years out of the Test team, come back in and take a match-winning 5-wicket haul?
Yeah, look, he's obviously been out for a while. He's had some setbacks with injuries, and all I've heard the last little while is how well Jai's bowling. He's improved so much, his skills and what he can bring to the table, and he's a bit more skiddy than some of the other quicks, so he sort of complements them really nicely for something a little bit different off the wicket. But yeah, I thought he bowled really nicely, and pleased for him to get 5 wickets on his return into Test cricket, and I'm sure he'll take a lot of confidence out of that.
Scotty Bailey.
Yeah, Steve, on Jai, just firstly, was there much said about, I don't know, whether, I guess, between innings and whether he had to do much different from that first innings to that second innings? I know he bowled well about luck early, but sort of didn't have much later in the innings. And secondly, having him fit and performing like that, do you think gives you a realistic 4 strong fast bowlers where you can actually rotate more? I know you're not a selector, but just your thoughts on that?
I think we've got quite a few fast bowlers coming through. We've got Scott Boland, who I think's a quality bowler as well, and Mark Stecky's been around this group as well. So I think we've got a really, really strong core of fast bowlers that can do the job whenever they're called upon. And I think the way Jai adapted, I guess, throughout this match was really pleasing. I think first innings we made a concerted effort to try and pitch the ball a little bit fuller, and we went for quite a few runs in that first session, but I wasn't too disappointed with that. We were still a long way in front of the game, and we tried to bowl a lot fuller than England perhaps did. So in the second innings, I think he wanted to work his way up from in terms of length. He wanted to start back a little bit and sort of drive his way forward from there. So that was fine, but yeah, he's a thinker. He thinks about the game really well, and he's got good control of his skills. So it's nice to have not just Jai, but like I said, that whole group of fast bowlers who can come in and do a job at any time.
Dan Brady.
G'day, Steve. Just a question about Joe Root, and apart from the obvious pain he was in yesterday, but you guys seem to have really kind of effectively attacked that off stump and outside area for him. He says that it's an area where he likes to score. He likes that on ball. I mean, from experience, how hard is it in Australia, I guess, to play that game where the ball bounces? Because obviously, say you and Marnus, you leave a lot of balls that are in that area.
Yeah, I guess that's the challenge of playing around the world. In England, I think you can play with that sort of open face and score a lot of runs, behind the wicket, because the wickets don't have that bounce, and they're a bit slower, and you can sort of control your hands a bit more a lot of the time. But Australia does have that extra bounce. He did seem to play, our other fast bowlers pretty well. I think Cameron Green's the only one with that extra bit of bounce that's been able to, unsettle him perhaps a little bit outside that off stump. But, he's looked pretty good each time he's come to the wicket, to be fair. So to have got him out last night, I think at the end of play was huge for us. He was obviously in a fair amount of pain at that stage, but, I won't take anything away from the way Starkey bowled either. I thought, he set him up really nicely, came around the wicket, changed the angle a little bit because he was leaving him pretty well. So, look, he's a quality player, and we're going to have to continue to, keep the pressure on him and bowl good balls consistently to him.
And just more generally with the bowling, do you feel like you've been able to stay, I suppose, calm and on the plan for, say, longer periods of time than you might have managed against, say, India at times last season? Like, has it been an improvement in that respect?
Honestly, can't even remember India. That was a long time ago. I think for us, it's just about sticking to the basics for as long as we can and building pressure. And I think we've got the bowling group to do that. And that's where I think Starkey did a terrific job this week. The way he was able to get the ball going across the right-hander and stay really patient on that, off stump, just outside off stump was exceptional. And for us, it's building pressure. It's bowling good balls consistently, and setting the right fields, I think, is important as well for the bowler that's bowling. So, I think we've done really well these first two Test matches. So it's great to be 2-0 up, but there's still a lot of cricket to be played in this series.
Thank you.
Dane Wilson.
Yeah, hi Steve. Congratulations on the win. I just wondered, from your point of view, looking at Joe as captain, clearly he's under a lot of pressure, 2-0 down, pretty rough year in the job. There's been a lot of there's been a complete absence of any animosity between the two teams. It seems to have been really friendly out on the field, and you obviously showed some real concern for him when he got hit and things like that. Do you have any kind of empathy or sympathy with kind of what he's dealing with and the pressure that he's under? And I know you've probably been in situations where things maybe feel like they're kind of out of your control a little bit. Do you have any kind of sense of empathy with what Joe's going through at the moment?
Yeah, of course. It's tough captaining a team when you're not winning games of cricket. Simple as that. There's always going to be critics out there and stuff that are going to critique your performance as a captain. So I think for him, I guess the best advice I could say is just trust yourself, back yourself, and do everything you can to help your team grow and be as successful as you can be. Sometimes as a captain, you get outplayed by the opposition, and there's not a great deal you can do. But just reflecting and seeing what you can do better or how you can improve is always important. And I think that's part of being a player or a leader. I think we've always got to strive to be better and improve. So that's, I guess, the best advice I could give, I suppose.
Thanks, Steve.
We'll go last two guys, Andrew Wu, then Matthew Henry.
Yeah, g'day, Steve. Well done on the win. Just wanted to ask you about your batting. I watched you playing the bat in the nets for quite long periods. I mean, did you feel as if going into the series that you were maybe a bit short on match practice and that you needed to I suppose soak up a few hours at the crease to get to where you were, and after that innings you played the other day, do you feel like you're kind of ready to find your best? I mean, have you found your hands or anything like that?
Well, I think throughout my career, I've always enjoyed the lead up of playing a few Shield games, coming into a Test series. But unfortunately, for a few reasons, obviously with the World Cup and COVID, that wasn't possible this year. So we had to make the best out of the situation. We were able to have some really good centre wickets, try and put as much pressure on ourselves in those scenarios as possible, which was good. But yeah, look, I felt in the lead up to this game, I had some good hits in the nets. I felt as though I was finding some nice rhythm and feeling in a good place. So it was nice to spend a lot of time in the middle that first innings and score a few runs. And yeah, hopefully that just holds me in good stead for the rest of the series.
Matt Henry, we'll go to you to finish off.
Thank you. Congrats, Steve. You obviously played in 2013-14 and 17-18 in the Ashes, where Australia won the first two tests and then went on to 5-0 and 4-0 wins. What prospect do you see of that happening again after these two tests?
England are a good side. We haven't really let them back into the contest yet. We've been in front in both games and not allowed them back into the contest. And from our point of view, that's how we want to keep it. We want to keep driving forward and not let England take back any momentum at all. However, England are a good side and are capable of playing some really good cricket. So, we've got to continue to keep working hard as a group and gelling together and playing well the rest of the series. And that starts Boxing Day. I think it's going to be a great occasion. It always is when you play for your country in a Boxing Day Test match, particularly an Ashes Test match. And the guys are really excited by that challenge. And hopefully we can keep the momentum we've created these first 2 Test matches and keep moving forward.
Can I just ask to follow up on that? How much motivation is there in the team to win this whitewash 5-0?
Look, we'd love to, but we'll take it one game at a time at the moment. That's all you can do. You got to just keep playing and keep playing well. And we'd love to wrap it up in Melbourne. But like I said, we're going to have to play really good cricket to do so. England are dangerous and are capable of playing some really good cricket.
We'll wrap up there, guys, and won't be too far off with the next one.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Steve.